Go! God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. Level up. Level up. Go! Everything, that means everything. Eyes connected to everything. And that's why I'm in everything. All eyes on me. All eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
And that's why.
That part. That part. That
It
part.
means everything.
That part. I'm telling you, every time I'm driving, I keep my music on shuffle. John shit hit, and you hear something different every time you listen to it. You catch something new every time you listen to it. Like, he said that? Rewind that. Let me listen to that again. Like, what the hell? Like, I'm serious, John. Baby, you are before your time. They ain't ready. They is not ready. Like, listening to his music, you gonna want to look yourself in the mirror. Am I on that level? Nah, nigga.
You can't deal with
Nah, nigga, you ain't. You got John didn't put in their work, baby. It is so beautiful to look at a man that is healed.
Man.
Healing.
Come
Yeah,
on.
still. I ain't there yet.
It never stops. So my sister made it a point to say I don't give good men compliments. Yes, the fuck I do. Yes, the fuck I do. I give them the flowers. Yeah, I call out both sides. I'm just so happy to be close knit with a tribe that has great men in it. So John, I ain't even got to say nothing.
It's the journey.
And look at the connects that we have made with him, brother. You know what I'm saying, Sherman? What's his name? Diano. He was cool. He was out. Yeah, he was aight.
He's aight. He still got one of my hamsters, so I can't say nothing.
That's what's up. I ain't heard from him. I ain't talked to him. Hope all is well. But anyway, welcome. This is Things That People Don't Want to Talk About, brought to you by God Level. I am from St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a mother. I'm a nurse. I'm an aunt. Oh my God. I'm a Gigi. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. Shit, I'm everything good. Ivy, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Sure can. What's going on, good peoples? This your girl, Inattentive Ivy. You can find me on all social media platforms. Well, I'm representing for the inattentive ADHD community, talking about mental health, things that affect our community. And that's my journey. Former broadcast journalist with the military, mother, sister, friend, auntie, all of the things. Hailing from Dayton, Ohio, but living in the wonderful Pacific Northwest. And I share my journey of my healing so y'all can keep me accountable, and I can keep talking about all the bullshit, right? So we can all keep it a buck. I appreciate it. I'm here to help.
Hers is public.
Mine too.
Is it? Let me go check mine out.
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker.
Thank
here.
you.
I'm a lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I am a husband who has 5 hip-hop albums streaming on all major streaming platforms, all major DSPs. So if you like hip-hop, this track right here, this is me. Imagine the lyrics that might be on something like this. Look up John Skywalker, look up John Skywalker, look up John Skywalker. Salute.
I can't make
Let's
it
go.
It's still not public for me. So I'm
We'll
gonna
figure it out.
Yeah, that's fine. We just gonna go. I'm gonna share what I just seen on Ivy's, and we just gonna share it on my page. Hey, that's pretty much it. Go ahead. Let's run it. let's let's do
Yeah,
a
go
little
ahead and set the
backstory.
stage. You can
Yeah,
set
let's
the
let's do a
stage.
little backstory.
What inspired it? Yeah, what
My
inspired you to?
children,
Hmm.
my children inspired this topic. Why do we push our kids out at 18? We tend to do what has been done to us, thinking that we're doing what's supposed to be done. And really, we are hindering our children when we push them out at 18. Because let's be honest, is they really ready for responsibility and taking care of themselves on their own? No. That's why a lot of them end up coming back. I don't think we in our community set the tone or set our children up for success. You know, a lot of parents, hey, you think about that freedom and that one less mouth to feed that you don't have to worry about when they get 18. Nah, you grown, you on your own. You know, now it's time for me to live my life. But when it becomes when you're a parent, mother or father, that is a 24/7, 365-day job. It never stops. Even with my children not being at home, I pride myself on being a resource for them. My oldest daughter in Cincinnati, I love her to death. I am very proud of her. She's been out on her own for years, yet she still needs a little help from time to time. And I love it to give it to her. Like, who am I not to give it to her? So when she calls on mama for 50, 40, whatever it is that she needs, I'm going to send it. You know, my son too. My daughter in there, she doesn't want for anything, because I don't look at it as, oh, you're overcompensating or you're spoiling them. No, I'm loving on them. You know, your terminology and my terminology is going to be different. I'm loving. They're not spoiled. They just get love for it. They're getting love for it. You know, so I don't look at it like that. You know, but when it comes to my children, I tried, and I'm not gonna lie, I tried to be to them what I didn't have growing up, was that resource, someone they can call on in a time of need. Like, hey, mom, and they don't call me unless they need it. And I'm gonna say this: when I can't give it, it hurts. It's been very few times that I was not able to give what they asked or what they requested. You know, but I was able to follow up through it later on. But yeah, so you know, pushing them out at 18, they're not ready. They're not mentally ready. If I had I would get a big ass house right now and move them all in. Knowing what I know right now, I'll bring them all back home. You know what? And you know what else I do? Let's do family therapy. But let's do a reset. Let's get you together first. You know, back then I didn't know no better. But as you get older, you learn, like, that wasn't really the right thing to do. Like, why was I so focused on having them out when I should have been more focused on, are they prepared? And sometimes they don't be prepared. They don't be prepared. They're not ready. Even when they go off to college, they still going to live on campus in a dorm that supplies a bed, a room, you know, food. They're not ready. They're getting ready when they go to college. They're getting ready.
But if that's the case, you're always getting ready.
No,
eternally.
Eternally. It ain't over. You right?
Eternally. So eternally. I mean, we're just talking about a transition, right? This is a transition period, and it's a recent one. It's a recent invention, right? That's what we're acknowledging here. But before we continue, King, go ahead and introduce yourself.
There you go.
Peace. This King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Newborn Everything. And as always, I am peace, love, and light.
All right, so we're alluding to this transition into adulthood, right? But and that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to get to the root of this, is figure out, you know, we got to do the history a little bit. Where did this come from? And then also it's, you know, collectively today, what are the attitudes towards it now? Because it's mixed. It's not
That's
just
true.
everybody. Yeah,
Okay.
everybody don't think the same way, you know. And the idea is housed differently, right? There's political ideology, you got religious beliefs, but you know, one of the biggest contributors here, and we're going to get into it, is economics. Because you know, even if you think about the cost of education, right? Because that's kind of like where this really comes from. You got to think back, World War II, before World War II, okay, before industrialization, before women were out there in the workforce, right? It was pretty much families, right? And you know, you lived in Pop's in Pop's house, and when you moved on, you either got married or you were an apprentice. You didn't just, oh, okay, well, I'm off, deuces.
I'm off. Yeah.
That was new when colleges started popping up, right?
Yeah.
Colleges started popping up, and so hey, now your kids turn a certain age, they qualify for, and then public education too. That came into play. So these new institutions come in, and now we have a new transition stage for humans in America, right? But we got this idea that it's not quite fitting the times, right?
I just like that. How you this new
What's that?
transition stage for humans. Yeah, it really
It's because I mean, really, just think about it.
is.
Just think about it. Before 1940, before 1920, all right, people is living with a family. Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going, Renee? You 18 now. Where are you going?
Facts.
Come on, tell me, Renee, where are you going?
Nowhere. I'm home.
Oh, you with the family. Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
I'm with family.
But we're in America. This is about individualism, right?
That's what I wanted to get to. Go ahead.
So, hey, you about to go off and start your own family.
Yeah. And families are
right?
not.
But we're getting too far over in that direction. Let's come back here. Reasons. Let's look at the motives.
What are some of the reasons why we push our kids out of the house when they turn 18?
Yeah.
America is a collection of individualized people. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like America, the UK, they're individualized cultures. Like we kind of believe in power of self, right? We kind of lean we're kind of self-centered. Not saying that we're all selfish, but we're just kind of we're individuals, you know, but in other places, they believe they're more culturist or more collectivist, you know, cultures let's just say China or Japan or even places in Africa where their culture is for the greater good of everyone and not necessarily for the greatest good of the individual, right? So for us at 18, you know, we're trying to be like us. There's some parents who tell their kid, okay, this is you graduating from being a part of this collective. Now go out and make your own way. You know what I'm saying? Become a part of the individualistic society that we are, right? You've got other people who are like John said, he said economics. That's a huge one. That's a huge reason why. You've got some other dynamics that are not necessarily so sweet, but let's go ahead and keep it a buck, right? You got control issues, power dynamics, right? Like you've got some people who can't get along with their kids, or the kids can't get along with their parents. So the more modernized the civilian, come on, Jose, man, the more individualized the culture becomes. Number one fact, right? And if you've got people who can't, if the parent and the kid can't get along, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we can go to family therapy, but the thing is that you gotta work it out to get there first. You know, there's also let's go ahead and keep this one a buck. We come from the generation where we used to see those commercials on TV all the time about teenage pregnancies, about kids people having kids early. So some people might be like, all right, let me do my thing now. Is it necessarily right? I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't judge, but we're just talking about the reasons.
Right.
Let's just talk about right. It's
Right.
one of the reasons. So
Yeah.
there's all kinds of different reasons
Yeah.
why people push their kids out of the house. There's also tough love. I believe that's another one too. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes not even just tough love, just love in general. Just like, hey, go find your way. If you stumble, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be here if you stumble, but you
Yes.
need to stumble first to know what it feels like.
Ooh.
So that's what I got.
Ooh.
King, motivations, reasons why we push our kids out at 18.
I'm gonna say lack of knowledge.
Okay.
Lack of knowledge. Not really knowing what you're doing by pushing them out. You know. And also you gotta look at it. Some of us had kids, didn't even want them in the first place.
Yep, there you go. There we go. There we go.
He said the quiet part out loud.
He did.
You sound a little far away too, brother.
Yeah, but he said the quiet part out loud, man. Because that's why I was saying like that whole entire freedom. Let me be quiet. I'll put myself on mute.
Perceived freedom.
I'm gonna say another thing is lack of legacy. You know, ethnic background. Understand that we are more valuable as a unit versus individualism. You know, some of us ain't got good stories on how the family even started. And that can deter you from even wanting to have kids. And then if you do have a child, you feel like you're stuck. Now it's something that you have to do.
Okay, so pushing out isn't necessarily a bad thing though either. So this is the other side of the coin. This is the other side. We're saying it's bad, right? But we're also saying that from perhaps from an independence perspective, right? From a maturity perspective, parents feel like this is a natural age. And then also given their cultural conditioning, their upbringing, right? And this is also about identity. You know, parents are also thinking, because you got to think about it, right? You were a child and then you became a teenager. And as a teenager, you were trying to shed off the skin of being a child. So now, you know how we do. We 21, we 18, we 20. We want to not be a teenager anymore. I'm grown now. I want to try this new thing on. I want to try this new sleeve. But it's hard to do that when your parents are right there and they like, you ain't there yet. Or, you know, because, you know, parents be sneak checking like, hey, don't smell too hard here. You still got some developing to do. Like you doing too much now. Slow it. Right. We're trying to humble them. Right. But parents, and that's why I say I'm kind of right there with Hosea right there. You know, when you're away from your parents and you have your own experiences without their supervision, without worrying about consequences or being exposed, you move differently. And that really builds your character. And in fact, it probably accelerates it. Because you're not operating under the mindset of, okay, what's my mom gonna think if I do this? You got to think independently, right? Isn't that what we want for them? Speaking of independence, are we mistaking independence for isolation? Since we're there.
For me, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait.
No, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, are those two interchangeable? You know what I'm saying? Independence and isolation.
Independence, or are we mistaking independence for isolation?
Think about the parents who's trying to get them out there. Come on now.
Oh,
get on out there. Get on out there. Get out there. Go. Independence. Is it being mistaken as isolation? Like, go. You're not maintaining a connection. Come on. You're not trying. You're not coaching them. They isolate. They on their own. Isn't that the language? And yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Ooh, isolation when you first leave.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, look at Hosea.
Damn
it, Hosea.
Damn. Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
You know, okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, maybe this is the reason why I didn't understand the question, right? Because just in my experience, I left the house, I went to college, right? So I had a community kind of there already. So it wasn't isolation for me. Then the first time in college, I flunked out pretty heavily, right? But from there, I moved out and then I went to the Army. So I was still not isolated. I was still kind of surrounded because I was a private in the barracks, you know what I'm saying? However.com, my side of my family kind of had that idea of independence as isolation, but I guess I just never really fell into that. So maybe that's the reason why I was kind of confused.
But also, so credit is due with that, right? So you identified your community and you knew how to socialize with your community. You don't think that's a life skill? You knew how to, because there are some kids that don't know how to socialize and make connections, network, social intelligence. You know, and you got to be emotionally intelligent for that too. And so here you are, you out here, and you don't want to talk to nobody, you don't want to deal with nobody, but you out here by yourself. You're at risk for what?
Depression.
So, and a whole lot more. So isolation. You're out there in the world, you're calling it independence, but you're by yourself. You know? Like, dang, shoot. When's Thanksgiving, man? Can I come home for I'm ready to come home for that, man. Hey, can I come home for Christmas too? Man, go on now. You ain't gotta come back. Ain't shit going on.
Can I come home for Arbor Day?
From coming home. They trying to be back trying to be back with the warmth. It's cold out here.
Can I be back for Cinco de Mayo?
Every fake holiday. Can I just come?
Yeah. I'm trying to tell you.
On the weekend.
King, what are the emotional costs of pushing kids out too early, in your view?
From a parent or a child? Which one you want?
Whichever one you want to give. They're both valid.
From a child, being pushed out too early, you never know, because you don't know what all knowledge and wisdom and understanding the child took in, observed from the parents.
All right, so there's individual traits that could probably buffer the effects.
True.
Okay. True. So individual traits.
From a parent perspective, I'm gonna say attachment. Reason why I say attachment, most of us find it very nurturing to quote unquote control his or her way to navigate. And once you strip a parent of that, that could be emotional devastation, because you have no more control over something outside of yourself, because everything you will and deem, I'm doing this for the sake of my child, I'm trying to make sure my child has this and has that. Yeah, you strip that, it cause some people to feel like they ain't got nothing else to do with their life.
Okay. He said the quiet part again out loud.
Attachment issues, yeah. Control issues, maybe it's attachment issues. Yeah.
Some parents feel like that's their purpose. Once those children are gone, it's like, okay, what do I do?
They didn't plan for the exit.
What do I do?
The crazy
Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I?
In 2 years, I'm gonna be asking myself that question. What's
But
next?
Dion, you gotta
Same
turn your
person.
mic up a little bit.
Yeah, turn your mic up, Dion, brother. King Newborn.
King Newborn. Thank you.
I went through 3 failed days.
I was right there with you. Sorry, my bad, King Newborn.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Professionalism. It's all good.
We
Is
slipped.
that better though?
No.
That's
You
still
just
not
We'll
sound
get
far
there.
away.
Yeah, we'll get there. But what were you saying? You were saying something, and I caught like snippets of it, and I was like, okay, this is say that again.
How about now? Is that better?
You got a mic? Where's your mic?
Right here in front of me.
Pick that damn thing up.
That's what I was trying not to do. How about now?
Okay.
Wait a minute, Derek said we hear you.
I know. Sergeant Major was like, we can hear you,
Oh,
bro.
you know what?
Just say something.
We sorry. Derek said we hear you.
Witherspoon, appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you.
And we'll leave it alone. Are we waiting on you, brother?
Are we waiting
Yeah,
on
we
me?
wait on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Continue.
Oh, man. Where I leave off at? I was going until I
Mike?
stopped. Where I leave off at?
The hamsters got him, son. The hamsters got him.
Yeah, for real though. 'Cause
wrap.
I'm looking at everything.
It's a wrap.
It's the same-
Oh man, it's
Same
cool.
settings.
All right.
So we're gonna run it back because you was talking
Uh-huh.
about the emotional cost. Oh no, what you were saying though, right?
Yeah, but
were
you
saying
said the quiet part
sometimes-
out loud again when
Yes.
the parent, their whole purpose is their children, and once their children are going, it's like, okay, what do you
Oh
do?
yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the extreme attachment. Yeah.
Yeah. You get to a point where you realize you got 18 years, 22 years of you pouring into somebody. That human, as my brother said, that human that you're pouring into is not pouring back into you. So you're steady emptying.
Goddamn.
You're steady emptying over and over. You're emptying. You're depleting. You get to a point, you look in that mirror, 18, 22 years, who am I? I'm nothing but a father. I'm nothing but a mother. And this is what I've been doing for the past. You lose sight of yourself. Lose sight of yourself. And now you have to relearn you all over again. You got to think about it. At this age, all that you knew was this. Now this outside the house now. It don't need you for nothing. Resources, nothing. What you do then?
I'm gonna go on mute.
I don't have nothing to say.
I mean, think about it. So at the time that you birthed this child, all the technology, the information that you knew and understood was then.
Yes.
Fast forward 18, 22 years later, when did you update? When did you evolve? When did you make the changes? That can be scary for a lot of people, man. And I hate to say it, that sometimes when we find extra curriculum activities that involve ourselves in, social clubs, hanging out at bars a lot, doing a lot of things to redefine ourselves because they ain't here no more.
Come
We
on.
want to go back to college. Some of us do go back to college, but it ain't the and I gotta deal with these youngsters in here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a
Can I
challenge. Well, go ahead.
can I piggyback off of that? I just I think I have said here before on this here podcast that some of us learn to be wife and mother instead of just being woman. Some of us learn to be father and husband. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily man itself. And in any case, whether you push your kid out too early, whether or not you invite them back home, you cannot operate out of a place of half, out of a place of a quarter, where so much of yourself is wrapped up in someone else instead of in who you are. Learn how to be a man. Learn how to be a woman. Learn how to be a whole person.
See
You know
yourself.
what I'm saying?
Ooh,
Yes, because if you do
yourself.
not, come on.
Yeah, I just
Because-
had to compliment my daughter today. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. I'm gonna go back on mute. Y'all know I talk a
I
lot.
had to compliment my daughter today. I said, I'm very proud of you. You know yourself. You see, you love yourself. And the version of you that you see, you are not going to allow anyone else to come in and disturb that, because that's your peace. That's your love. So I'm proud of you. You're smart. You're beautiful. You're intelligent. You make some crazy mistakes. I ain't gonna say crazy mistakes. No child is perfect, but you don't put yourself in situations where your character can be questioned. You know what I'm saying? I love that for you. And I said, keep going. And she just smiled, and I hugged her. And you have to tell your children that, especially if you see it.
So self-esteem, low self-esteem. If you don't, that's a consequence. I'm glad you mentioned the identity, because that's what I was gonna say. Emotional cost that's tied to delayed identity formation. So as a father, this is something.
Real quick with what you're saying, son?
Go ahead.
Just real fast. I'm not trying to be negative, but I want to say this part. To build off what you're saying, John, this is where we cultivated a lot of gang activities.
Yeah.
Trying to find some type of self-identity. And we attach ourselves to a gang where we so-called get the love, the nurturing, the care, and also we're taught, hey, you're a man now. At 11 and 12, 13, 14.
Yeah.
We're looking for a mask to put on. You're looking for a mask to put on. Yeah. That's what you do. That's what you do.
To connect to.
Yeah. Right. So, as a father, this is one thing that it's one thing for a child to be in a, economics, situation. A lot of people qualify that as the mark of independence. Okay, economically. But identity, I'm very passionate about. That's why I said I really rock with that. I'm really passionate about kids knowing who they are when they go out there, because there's gonna be a lot of people that you come across that are in survival mode. They are on the default operating system. They don't know who they are, and they are at the default, and you're interacting with them. And if you don't have a sense of self, you might end up copying them.
Yeah.
Thinking that they're it when it's really you. So having that sense of self, which also ties into having that self-esteem, having the confidence. And then I think parent-child relationship being strained, that is an emotional cost, because as a parent, you're investing for life. You're investing. If that transition is cut really short, it can create a lot of long-term tension. Parents can feel rejected, children can feel abandoned, misunderstood, and you were just talking about legacy, King. That's the first branch right there. Right. You're already cutting already. Wow. So that's at risk. That is at risk as well, that parent-child relationship. All right. So I'm going to throw some facts you guys' way, and we can, probably throw some commentary at that. In 1975, 45% of young adults ages 25 to 34 had reached all 4 traditional milestones, had moved out, had a job, married, and had children. Okay, 45% back then. By 2024, less than 25% had done the same. Less. Look at that. Just like the Matrix, trying to get them to understand which pill to take as much as possible for every situation.
Wow.
Discernment. Teaching them discernment. The most common path now is economic independence without family formation. Let that breathe for a moment. You out there, you independent, economically speaking, but you ain't got a family, except them back there, living alone and working, but not married or having a kid. But it's just you, right? America, right? Parents generally don't feel their involvement is excessive, okay? And young adults don't feel overly controlled. This implies that the 18 and out model is more myth than reality. And that's Pew Research 2024. That's recent, last year. So this was, I just wanted to evaluate the attitudes. That's why I was like, all right, hey, I know it's out there. I know it's out, but there are some demographic distinctions here.
Landslide.
All right. And what's up?
I said landslide.
So looking at this, right, what this means is that the economic realities and emotional readiness are slowing the transitions, even as this myth persists. There's this illusion that, but really more staying home, and it's, they ain't ready. But it's it's tough out there. I don't see how me and Hosea was talking about it. You hear it all the time, and it's the boomers. It's the boomer generation, all right? It's the ones above that's looking down, giving these kids hell. This is a trickle-down effect. Okay? We had some time to prepare. For those of us that are still afloat, we had some time. There is some preparation in that. Right. And so this is really about resilience. But them kids is feeling that shit from what they've been doing. Yeah. Just think about the attitudes like, oh, well, we got it out the dirt, back in my day. You're just lazy. You got all these jobs out here, and you're like,
nah, bro.
That's $15. Nah. What are you talking? Well, the economy's doing great, and it's like, bro. We're all in it. We're all looking at it. And so when it comes to these kids, we like, how is your kid making it? How is your kid,
Man, how is my daughter making it by herself? Whew. Mom, can you float me? Absolutely. I know it. And she said it. I said, that's what I'm here for. I said, I just need you to, we need to figure out, it's time to bring her back home so she can go back to school. Yeah. And go from there. So she's making it work. No children, thank you, God.
My son helped me to understand a lot about the kids today and about like the struggles that they have, right? So, I remember just one day we were just kind of sitting around, just kind of joking. I was like, oh, I got to my parents' age where I could be like, I had to walk 2 miles in it, and I was just picking with my kids, right? Because y'all know I'm crazy like that, right? And then after we had got all the giggles out, my son really kind of like took a second and was like, man, it's hard. Like, it's hard out here. Like, everything is harder a little bit. Like, it's a different time. Like, like the economy is okay, but I don't know who is paying $2,000, close to $3,000 for rent by themselves at the age of 18, 19, 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And that's just rent. We're not talking about food, bills, just cell phones, anything extra. And let's go ahead and I always tell my kids, I'm like, do all of the stupid shit while you're young. You know what I'm saying? Go travel, go have fun, be a young adult while you are a young adult. I was way too responsible at 21. I had my first kid at 24. You know what I'm saying? Married at 24, the whole nine. And I was like, my oldest is 24 now. And I'm like, bro, I'm gonna need for you to be a little bit less responsible sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
Go
go.
and do those
Right.
things now.
Catch
But
a
I'm just
flight.
saying, like, they have, right, you know what I'm saying? But there are
Yeah.
there are so many differences, not only just financially, but then there's also emotionally, like dating, trying to think of
Oh.
even trying to merge assets with somebody, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because of the culture, there's so much that is so hard. And I used to joke with my kids. I'm like, yep, you got to get out when you're 18, but you can come back in a year and a half. Nah, bro, like for real. I have realized that I just need to be a safe landing space for them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want to venture out on your own, I want you to get out and have that experience, right?
Yes.
But I have to at
I,
least have enough to be a safe landing space.
that's it.
Just
Yeah.
enough.
Yes.
I'm not saying that I have to take over your bills. I'm not saying that I got to do none of that. I just need to have a safe
Regroup.
landing space.
Yeah.
That
Come back,
regroup.
regroup, reset. Let's get it together.
Come on.
Fly, birdie, fly.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Because you need a safe launching pad. You
Well,
need a
wait a
safe
minute.
launching pad.
Because you know, brother be doing that shit. What did you say?
Uh-oh.
I just want to say, I don't think it's more hard or less difficult. I don't think it's either or. I think that, my opinion, unpopulated, a little bit softer, and just a little bit more of spoiled and entitlement. Just to a degree. I'm not saying everybody. Again, just my opinion. Hear me out. True enough, back in the day, somebody did walk 5 miles just to get to school. Just saying. That may be true. Nowadays, some of us are dropping our kids off in Q Infinities and Lexus and, you know, Mercedes and Lyfts and Ubers and shuttle bus from Metro, and it's a little different. And on top of that, because of the internet, everything is at your desired will, and it can get delivered possibly today. So how can I force somebody into a world that when everything they want, desire, all they have to do is complain, they can have it right now? I don't feel like walking. Okay, I'll drop you off. I mean, it's the same, but it's different. Then somebody was making $1.50 an hour. Now you got somebody making $15 an hour, and we both saying they had the same struggle. But the key is, we wasn't inserting the fact that, hey, you don't have to go nowhere until you are ready yourself, till you feel you're ready. We missing that little key little part. And part of that is to make sure the house is completely sound for them to continue to develop, evolve into them, to their self, to who they are supposed to be, before we induct them into the world. True enough, we want them to be an image of us, or somewhat of the version or ideal version that we see in our mind that we want them to be. But they still gotta kind of figure it out for who they feel themselves to be, or who they think that they are. It's kind of hard for them to even do that, because some of the stuff that we even going through, we still dealing with it from our childhood and how we probably got pushed out. So it's like we're not really breaking no real cycles here. We're just passing down more trauma after trauma. I'm just saying, that's just it's my opinion. That's all. I'm not saying that it's a fact. There's no studies behind this. Just my opinion on some things that I kind of look at. And if you look outside, you'll see it everywhere. A lot of kids go crazy if you don't like a stat that they put up as a post. So it might not be social skills as in society, but it's still social skills dealing with the internet. It has a great impact on them, so they can isolate from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's a lot of we can. This is a subject we could go on every week about for a long time. Every week about. We could continue to break it down, different norms and different things that I myself, had I had the proper toolage, I probably only have still one son right now.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we only focus on the negative of this. We don't look at the positive, as in, hey, I did bust my butt. Not saying me as an individual, but in society, I bust my butt so my child can not necessarily be spoiled from my standards, but have everything that I feel that they should have in order to grow up in the home front. And not knowing that it could be possibly desensitizing them from being prepared actually for being in the world. Like John said, some things have to happen in order for them to use their own knowledge, their own discernment, to actually deal with problems that may arise without, like he said, my mama might not like if man, please don't tell my dad, because if this get back to my dad, at some point they have to trust the inner self to deal with certain things to move forward. Go ahead. I'm going mute. I'm done talking.
No. I just
No,
wanted
you
to
was good.
piggyback
You
on.
was good.
I think I feel what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong. Is that you're saying that there is a level of there's a level of resilience that possibly could be passed along with saying that, hey, it's time, like that should be pushed along with the kid outside of the house. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the reasons that was kind of like when we, like in the beginning of this, when we talked about like what are some of the reasons for people pushing their kids out of the nest. And some people are like, I want my kid to learn what it is to grow up with the resilience. So I think that's, it sounds like that's what you were kind of alluding to. Like you're just saying like, no, or did I get it wrong? Okay, I will be quiet and go on mute.
Look, Derek Witherspoon got it. He said he nailed it. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, cool. John ain't said nothing. So to answer this question right here, what would I do, or what would be a requirement for me, I'm just saying me, for my kid to become independent? John, you might not like this answer. Take a couple of hits to the face. Yeah. Because this world will hit you from certain angles that you didn't even know were weaknesses. Most of the things you encounter in this world is based off the strength of what mom and dad had prepared you for. And that's based off of their weaknesses, not yours. I'm saying it again, their weaknesses, not yours. You don't really, John already said it earlier, you don't really know who you are until you get out here and you experience on your own. Just saying, that's just me. That's just me.
Okay. Renee?
I'm sorry. I'm still in shock that he said a hit to the face. Okay. As a parent, what a requirement? Mentally ready.
Let me elaborate on that, sis. So, a hit to the face, I gotta run back to mama and dad to fix a decision I made that got me in something. What if mom and dad ain't here no more? What you gonna do? Just saying, what you gonna do?
I'm still in shock. Let me just still in shock. Let me just stop laughing at me. I can't even hear you laugh, but I seen you bend down. Answer another question. I'm done. Derek over here talking about something. I see you, brother.
No,
Derek.
I hear him. I'm here.
I guess it was the delivery hit in the face. I'm sorry, but why she keep going off camera? I would want them to be mentally prepared, already in the field of their choice, a little money set to the side, some, nice little credit score to help them with their move out, and with nest egg, set aside a little money, their own vehicle, a plan to live, I ain't gonna say modest in the beginning until they build up what they have and excel in what they're doing, depending on the area in which they want to go in. So yeah, just want them mentally prepared, emotionally prepared, financially prepared, because not only, and especially, oh my God, it gets harder when you bring in children and you're not there yet.
So again, until you get hit in the face.
So that's a sexual philosophy, a sexual health philosophy, because if you have the rules in your head, the practices in your belt, you're going to practice certain sexual practices that's going to keep you from getting pregnant. So, okay, there's a sexual philosophy. Yeah, all right, that's sex education. Okay.
Yeah, my son did well up until 24. My daughter, she's still doing well. She has 9. Brianna, she ain't thinking about it. She's like, I'm going to college. I'm like, oh, okay, baby, I got you. So, we there. But we talked about sex early on when they came home from school. Looking it up online.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you ain't got to look it up. You can ask me anything you want. Mm-hmm. And my son was very bold and brave, and he did. And I didn't flinch when I answered. So, yeah. And then showed them where babies come from. Yeah.
Which all the kids are like, yeah.
Like, they just like, and then they was there for the birth of their sister.
Oh, that was enough right there. That was enough to solidify.
That was enough.
Yeah.
Did you see where
that was enough.
Mom. Yeah.
Mama.
Yeah.
Can I just, okay.
I was like, go ahead. I'm done.
No, can I interject? Okay. I didn't mean to laugh. Yeah, I meant to laugh because the punch in the face is very true. Unfortunately, my hamster brain, it visualized it before I actually sat in it. So I'm sorry. So it was really funny because I visualized it. However, I do want to point something out, because you're right. And there is something, and it's not just in the Black community, but I have seen a lot of Black mamas do this. It's something called enmeshment, right? Enmeshment is the idea. It's this really interesting idea. It's like we care so much, we love so much, we try to protect our kids from so much stuff that we keep them from growing up. Right? It was when my mom passed, I was 30-something years old, right? But I was lost because there was a lot of key things that, because of my household, was just kind of really shielded. And I always say it again on here that my mom raised me to be a wife and a mother, didn't necessarily raise me to be a woman. So I had to figure out how to be a woman. And the struggle when you're 30 something as opposed to when you're 15 is different. It's a lot different. That enmeshment, that overcovering, that overprotectiveness, that
emotional closeness where there's no boundaries.
The emotional closeness without any boundaries, when you cannot tell, and I'm going to say this, parents, you might not want to hear it. When your kid cannot tell you no, when your kid cannot object, cannot have their own voice, it's the first place. Woo! Come on, Whitley Gilbert. It's the first place where they learn boundaries. It's the first place where they learn their self-esteem, right? Like in the home. So if they don't know how to have a voice with their parents, how are they going to leave the nest and know how to have a voice with other people? You understand what I'm saying? And in Black parenting, we can be good for this, you know? So a part of the requirement for my kid to be independent, number one, is going to start with me. It's not necessarily on my kid, because I'm going to make sure that I'm not enmeshing the shit out of them. I'm going to make sure that they have skills so they leave from here to know that they can stand up in the world. Get chin checked and see if they have some tools first to level it out. And then if they don't, they can come home to me, because I'm a safe launching pad, and then we can work it out together.
There you go.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay, go ahead, because look, King is on one. He's like, let me say something.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet.
Go ahead.
Oh, it was just funny that we're speaking about this. What just popped in my head right now is the movie Waterboy.
That's it. That is it. That is it. That is it. That is enmeshment. That is it. That is it.
Okay.
Period. Man, that was such a good analogy. Wow. That is it.
So for John, financial literacy, and that one's more of a, I guess, a midterm development. So we're talking about budgeting, saving, debt management, and really just financial awareness, awareness of the products. I do talk to my kids about financial devices and, how money works. And, we just have a conversation, because I want them to also have a healthy relationship with it. So as part of financial literacy, sometimes it's a little formal. Khan Academy, really good resource for that type of stuff. Emotional regulation, that is another requirement for me. Being able to handle stress, being able to respond appropriately to conflict, and just being able to make decisions without me having to intervene. You could use me as a sounding board, reflect some ideas, but hey, this is you. I'm just checking. Like, oh, hey, you might wanna. That's it. It's all you. Social skills, being able to network, being able to socialize, being able to develop boundaries, and knowing how to ask for help. And I practice, I create scenarios with my kids for that, so that they see what it looks like. I exemplify it as well. And then I think just baseline life logistics, navigating housing, employment, healthcare, legal responsibilities. Yeah.
I love
That's a
all
good
that,
list.
John. Yeah, I love all that. That was shit. Love it.
I'm gonna
I
fight
just want
you.
to say this last little piece. Brick don't hit back.
Yeah?
We gotta understand, sometimes when we out here, man, and like you say, everything that John just ran off, I'm not gonna shit you. Beautiful. But we have some ignorant people that we encounter that are, I'm talking about, rewire everything that you was taught to where you never encountered this before. And that should have fucked you up. I'm just being honest. that will fuck you up. That's all I was saying. Get hit in the mouth, not physically, but you encounter a situation that wasn't on your final. You know what I'm saying? No, the way they scam nowadays, that shit has evolved to. You can put the wrong information into your Cash App and your bank account will be depleted. That's all I'm saying. There's no way to prepare for that until it happens, and then when it happens, you have say protocols. Okay, now this is what you do to. But shit, what about the emotion that's attached to the fact that I done bust my butt 40 plus hours a week, 60 plus hours a week to get to this number that I'm attached to, because I built this based off the strength, the foundation that was given me from my parents, and somebody just take that from you. That's hitting the mouth.
Yeah.
Sometimes that. Now you finna really see where they character at, who they really are for real.
Ooh-wee.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about that punch in the mouth though. Sometimes, because sometimes
we can come back.
Ooh, child.
We can come back because, I'm sorry, piece of cake conversation. Their ability to discern what is safe, so they're not suffering needlessly to prove they are strong. I am learning it now in my adulthood, and it breaks my heart to see the true nature of people after I lied to myself, babysitting their potential.
Once again, that's why I was getting ready to say that punch in the mouth. Sometimes you need that punch in the mouth. Punches in the mouth are, even though I'm sorry, I laughed when you said it, but let's just go ahead and let's call them, those are character developments. The punches in the mouth, because we need them in order to
clarity.
Because we need them in order to grow.
Mm.
And if we are always cleaning that stuff up for our children, they won't learn those hard lessons that they need in order to expand and grow. Once again, what do they need? It's a myriad of things. Ooh, this is a good question. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead.
Hey, before you answer that question, I also want to point out that John, my brother, you have prepared those young adults in that home front that you in to be able to take punches in the mouth. I want to put that out there. I'm just being honest. From the classes that they take, they're able to take punches and also give punches and regulate their emotions in the process of to think first, then act. So I just want to put that. I don't want nobody to think that I'm trying to cut down what my brother said.
It's still a process. It's still a process. But I also want to add that, and then we got to go into this question just to build from that, right? And this is not just for me, right? Everybody parents different, right? There's different parenting styles, okay? So within that, like what piece of cake is kind of indicating is this really is about legacy, right? So it's really about what you pass on, even if it's not something that's tangible, you're still passing something on, including mistakes, right? You're even passing on mistakes. So I had to realize this about myself. So again, what King was kind of hinting at earlier is you got a lot of people that are underdeveloped, that have kids that don't know how to develop kids because they themselves are underdeveloped. And so here we are. We're not, just to the audience, we're not telling you what to do. We're just trying to highlight something here. We're trying to highlight an issue and really just reframe and revisit this idea of pushing our children out at 18. A really big factor in all of this is it's planned parenthood. Okay, we're planning their independence. Everything that I'm doing is just I'm planning. I'm like, okay, what do you want to do? I'm asking these questions. Like, all right, we getting the foundation set up, but as a parent, I'm thinking, especially as a father, right? Because it's a function. I can, we got people out there that have been playing both roles, but there is a certain mindset that I've developed, right? It's kind of like being a coach. I'm looking at you and I'm saying, where are you trying to go and who are you? That's the big ones for me, right? So I'm just trying to figure out who you are and then help you to become that more, right? Okay, cool. So this is who you say you are. I believe you. So, all right, where is your, let's try to sketch out your path from here. Let's just blueprint, map, right? So it's the guidance, right? I'm not telling you what to do per se. I'm not telling you what to do. You know what to do. So I think that's another factor here is parents don't know how to not make their children's success, their career path, their life path about them. Again, that boundary. Like, yo, I didn't get that, so I don't know how to give it, and I don't even want to give it because I didn't get it. So I don't even know what it feels like, and I don't even know if that's something I want to give or share if I could find it. Intentional parenting, yes, intentional parenting. So it's really just, it's all right. I'm just looking at the child, and I think that's what we're all trying to do is look at the child and say, okay, which direction are you going? And I just need to make sure I can see where you're going and you see where you're going, and that you're equipped to go, where you need to go. I can't give you all of it. I don't have all of it, but I can point you in the direction, and I can help you get some resources so that you can be successful in your mission. How can parents, this is our last one, how can parents repair relationships with adult children who felt pushed out?
The next topic.
Oh, okay.
That's the next
what?
I'm sorry. That's the next topic. When I seen it, when I read it, I already knew it. I'm sorry. That's the next topic. We've already been here for a good hour, 6 minutes. We ran over just a tad bit. I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. I hope you walked away with something. Again, like John said, we are not trying to tell you what to do, but this is just a way to just ask yourself some questions concerning yourself and how you're parenting, and even to sit down and talk with your children and see what they need. You just got 4 different views. Take that, run with it, take what's for you, and leave the rest. So I want to thank everyone for coming in on tonight's live. Thank you for your comments. We appreciate you. And that last question that John had up there, that's going to be next week's topic. So we will see you all back here next week.